That breakup, it didn't break you. Honestly, Miss Girl, it broke you wide open. Some of your biggest blessings will come wrapped in pain, but that's not weakness. That's your opportunity to allow yourself to be reborn. So go ahead and let them leave. Let that job go. Let the old version of you crumble. Because truth be told, what's on the other side is the power that you didn't even know that you had. Hi, Miss Girl, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Alexis Alizé, and I am all things feminine energy, soft girl advice, and I'm all about helping you become your most highest version of yourself, the most feminine and softest version, so you can live your best life. So if you're into content like that, make sure to give this video a like and make sure you subscribe. I would love to have you in this community. In today's video, I'm gonna show you how to take the pain that you've been through and turn it into the biggest glow up of your life. And we're talking about a whole rebirth of self-love and just becoming the best version of yourself that your old life couldn't handle. So let's get into it. So for starters, you have to normalize the pain, okay? Everybody has a point in their life where something becomes too much and they're like, okay, I cannot take this anymore, or I do not want this anymore, or this just can't keep happening. You have to look at it as these hardships in your life, they're not punishment, okay, Miss Girl? I promise God and the universe is not punishing you for anything. Instead, these are actually portals into your next level life. So if you don't take that portal, then of course you're gonna be stuck in that same cycle. But if you are truly ready to let go of this old life of yours, if you are truly ready to get rid of those old beliefs and just rewrite your story, then use this hardship, use this pain as the portal to your next level up. But let's be real for a second, okay? Social media and society in general nowadays, they glamorize the glow up life, but they skip over the messy part in the middle. And that's no matter what area in your life you are trying to glow up, okay? Even if that is romantically, okay? They skip over the messy parts of you crying about an ex-lover, you trying to figure out who you are without that person in your life. And this could even be for when you're trying to glow up in general, and maybe you are suffering from a friendship loss. And this can even be when you're glowing up in general and maybe you had some friendship breakups and you are mourning that, you are grieving that because you just let go of a friend that you knew for a very long time. And now it's starting to even feel like that you let go of a version of yourself. When you're trying to level up your career, let's not forget about that messy part in the middle where you might feel lost. You might even doubt yourself like, oh my gosh, am I making the right decision? Glow ups aren't always pretty no matter what area of your life we're talking about. And sometimes it can just feel like a tornado of emotions. You might feel like, am I doing too much? Am I crazy? What is going on? Why am I thinking like this? Or why am I having these strong emotions? Before I didn't have these emotions. You know why? You're not too emotional. You're not doing too much. It's because you've just encountered an awakening, sister. There is something inside of you that says she's done playing small. There's something inside of you that is saying, I am not taking this anymore. There's something inside of you that is crying out for a change. So understand that betrayal, that heartbreak, that loss, that is a mirror reflecting right back to you what you need to change. I like to look at pain as an invitation, and you're either going to be numb to that pain or you're going to transform through that pain. And I know sometimes in the middle of this pain, it's hard to see, it's hard to feel, it's hard to like take a step back and look at the bigger picture so you can get back on track to being you. But it all comes down to how you look at these things, okay? So a breakup isn't really about losing someone. When you break up with somebody, when you realize, I don't want to be here anymore, I don't want this anymore. So this begins to be a confrontation with who you thought you were. Because before, you saw those red flags, but you thought you were okay with dealing with them. You thought, okay, you know what? It's okay. It's fine. Nobody's perfect. This is something that I can handle. Or you probably thought, I'm not going to find better, so let me just be grateful. Let me just sit here and deal with this because in the end, I'm going to be happy. That old version of you thought that it was going to be okay. That old version of you thought that this was good enough for you. But now that you are experiencing this awakening, you're like, hell no. I'm not dealing with this. I do deserve better. There is better out there. And again, that's whether that's a friend, a relationship, a job, a career, whatever. You are realizing that this is no longer serving you and you want better. So that pain that you're feeling is honestly just because at one point you thought it was good enough, but now you have woken up and realized it's not. So now take the opportunity to rebuild off of that truth that you deserve better, there's better out there, and that you want better, and that you are going to get better, okay? Rebuild off of that truth, not out of the trauma of the pain. A lot of people not knowingly like to hold on to that pain, and they take that pain with them into new relationships with people that they meet, whether that is romantically or even into new friendships or whatever it is. They take that pain with them, and now that pain is going to infect that new relationship, that new opportunity, and they just keep taking that with them everywhere instead of letting it go. Pain is not to be taken with you, it's so you can transform. Let that pain go, Miss Girl, because that pain is not to be taken with you, okay? That pain that is happening right there is because you are rebirthing, okay? Go ahead and transform and now step into this new career, this new job, this new relationship as a new version of yourself. That job letting you go, that relationship ending is giving you an opportunity to reconnect with yourself, and it's really giving you space for you to decide what you want out of this life. And I know that this is so much easier said than done, but I promise you those breakups, they pull that good girl mask off and they literally give you the chance to reclaim your feminine power. Do you ever realize after a breakup, like yes, after the crying, after all the sad days, it's like you get a boost of confidence, like you're walking different, you're talking different, you're glowing different, things are working out for you in other areas of your life? That's because you were able to reclaim your power and gain your confidence back. And that requires so much strength because there are a lot of women who don't have the strength to leave. Maybe they've been in a relationship for 10 years. Maybe they've been at this job for 12 years and they don't even know what's out there. But it takes so much strength, so much power, oh my gosh, to be able to walk away and walk into the unknown. I know it can be really, really scary to step into something without knowing, but honestly, that's what God wants us to do, okay? He wants us to have faith that it always works out. And let me tell you a little secret, it does always work out. I mean, like, every single time you step into the unknown, it always was better than what you had before. I promise you, okay? Even if it's a little rocky at first, it always works itself out. Always. You hold so much power, but you give your power away and you are literally draining your power when you stay in a situation that no longer serves you. The moment that you decide to change, the moment you decide to leave something that no longer serves you and step into the unknown, girl, like, I just think that is so powerful. And I think it's so hard for a lot of people in general to do this, to step away from something because they don't know who they are without that thing. They don't know who they are without that person. And that is really scary because not this one thing, this one job, this one career, this one person, this one group of friends should define you. You are so much more than that relationship. You are so much more than that job and that career. And honestly, give yourself permission to want something different. It's okay to pivot through life. It's okay to change your mind. Maybe you used to not want kids, but now you want kids, and that is okay. It's okay to pivot and change and want more and expand and change in this world. And through those hard decisions that you make, that's when you really find yourself. That's when you really start to uncover who you really are, who God really intended you to be. And through that, that's when you start to find your purpose. That's when you start to find out things that really excite you, and so on and so on. So sis, I really want you to think, who are you without that person? Who are you without that career? Who are you when you are no longer trying to be loved by someone who doesn't even see you? And once you start uncovering who that woman is, that is when your life starts to change, and that is when the real glow up happens. I know a lot of people like to use like the glow up era as like revenge or to make somebody jealous or stuff like that, when honestly, that's not what it's about. It's about your real rebirth, okay? It's about you transforming through that pain. Because a lot of people, they just see the glow up after the breakup, after the pain or whatever. They just see the glow up as the end result. But they don't understand that the glow up starts internally first. They don't understand how you had to self-soothe, how you had to regulate those emotions. You had to start setting more boundaries, and that you've actually gained a level of self-respect and self-love. And that's the real reason why you're glowing different. That's the real reason why after a breakup, most women, they start to glow different, because now they're demanding more. They went through that. They realized that's not what they want. And they realized that version of them that was accepting that, oh baby, she's no longer here. And as I tell you babes, in a lot of my other videos, you become magnetic as hell when you let go of the version of yourself that was in survival mode. When you had that survival identity, when you felt like that, I have to put up with this, or this is the only way to get real love, or this is the only way to get where I want to be is if I just put up with this for a little bit. No, we are no longer having that thought pattern, and we are letting go of that belief. I know a lot of people think that you have to go through trial and tribulation to actually have a beautiful love, a beautiful marriage, but not over here. We don't believe in that over here, okay? Love can be kind, love can be soft without all the drama, okay? And we also believe that you don't have to work hard and deplenish yourself to make good money, okay? No, you don't have to work hard. You have to change the identity shift. And same with relationships and love, and same with anything else in your life. You have to change the identity shift. And how to start doing that is to start asking yourself, how would the healed version of me act? How would the healed version of me handle this situation? How would the healed version of me, how would she show up? And to know the answer of that, that's why it's so important to really start understanding yourself and figuring out who you are without all these other attachments. And now that you have overcame that pain, now that you have really understood who you are and stepped into your power through that pain has now become your power and your testimony. Because in this life, one thing that I have understood is that every heartbreak becomes a story that can heal somebody else, okay? And I mean, like, even from me, like some of the things that I went through, I was just like, ooh, like every single hardship that you have been through and you have overcame is now a testimony to help somebody else. And you never know how far it can go and how many lives that you can change. And I mean, like, honestly, even for me, like this whole YouTube channel, me being a feminine energy life coach, has all came from my own testimony. It came from when I didn't know nothing about feminine energy, when I was living in my masculine energy. My body was stuck in survival mode and I wasn't getting nothing out of life. All the trauma, all the heartbreak, all the hardship that I went through, I was able to transform each time through every single hardship. And now I use each one of those lessons and each one of those obstacles as a testimony to help other women. I like to honestly look at it as all that pain and all that hardship, baby, that was my spiritual training ground. So a lot of that pain, a lot of that hardship was teaching me that what I was doing wasn't really that good and that I could do better. And it's crazy because sometimes we think that we're doing our best and we absolutely feel it in our heart, like, okay, like yeah, I'm doing this right. But we don't know any better. So now looking back, it's like I was doing everything completely backwards. And even though I was doing it completely backwards, I still knew the type of woman that I wanted to be, the type of life that I wanted to have. And God and the universe wanted to give that to me. But I had to transform and learn through all of that pain, through all of that hardship, to be the woman I am today. So no matter what you've been through, Miss Girl, let that pain go, but also let it transform you. Let it be your power and your testimony. Pass this on to other women in your life. Pass it on to your children, because the woman that you're becoming today will guide others one day. And your becoming era is evidence that a rebirth is possible for anybody. And I really mean that. I like to use everything that I've been through in life, even as a woman, and I like to use that to break generational curses, okay? It's so crazy because my son is 8. Yes, if you didn't know, I'm a mother, yes. And I love being a mother, and I have broke so many generational curses just because I'm teaching him everything that I'm learning about mindset, about manifestation, about God, about being emotional intelligent about everything that I had to learn the hard way. It took me years and years and years and years. Instead of contemplating on that pain, instead of saying, oh my God, life isn't unfair, I used that pain to become better. But also I'm using it as a testimony and to help and to heal others, even down to my own son. I'm raising a king here, so I refuse to take anything as a loss and take everything as a lesson for me to pass on. And you know that saying, God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers? Well, I like to say God gives his softest warriors his deepest battles, because she's going to transmute it and not just survive it. So if you're going through anything hard in your life, anything that's painful right now, if you're going through any type of hardship, whether that is a relationship, just trying to figure yourself out, trying to be reborn, or if that's career-wise or whatever it is, use this as an opportunity to start your glow up. This is the perfect time to start journaling. You girls know I'm always talking about the importance of writing in a journal. Start writing down who you're becoming. Start writing down your emotions, things that you are finding out about yourself. Like, okay, maybe I thought I liked this, but I don't. Actually, I like this. Start writing down the person that you're becoming. Start doing mirror work. I think this is so important, because sometimes when we are going through a big, transformation, and we are like becoming somebody else completely, and we are changing our identity, it's very easy to slip into those old thought patterns. It's very easy to slip back into the old identity. So I feel like mirror work and speaking life into yourself and just, reaffirming yourself that, this is me now. I am no longer putting up with this. I know there's better out there for me. When you speak that beautiful life into yourself, it helps you stay on track, and it gets you closer to the woman that you are becoming. And during this transformation, you also want to cut off anything that's draining you, okay? Don't half-ass cut off something. If you know it's not good, if you know it's no longer serving you, and you are wanting so much better, cut off anything that's draining you. And it could be something that maybe isn't directly related, but it still reminds you of that older version of yourself. For instance, let's just say that, I was dating this guy and I'm going through this breakup, and it's mainly because before I was letting him just respect me. I was letting him, like walk all over my boundaries and everything like that. But now I realize I'm no longer doing that, and I leave this relationship. But I also have some friends who also treat me the same way. They also disrespect me and don't respect my boundaries and stuff like that. Guess what? You guys are draining me too. I'm cutting you guys off as well. When you are going through this transformation, you need to really start being more aware, which will come like as you really start to figure out who you are and who you are without these extra attachments. You'll start to become more self-aware. So you'll start to realize, oh no, this isn't serving me. This is draining me. And I'm not going to tell you guys to do all of this like overnight. Like one day you just wake up, you break up with the guy, you no longer talk to your friends or anything like that. It does take time, but start to be self-aware and start cutting off things that you notice that are draining you. And last but not least is find a space or find a community of people who support your transformation, whether that be like an online space. Maybe you are, trying to work out, trying to get more healthy, just trying to become a better you. I feel like that you should find a space or a community of other people doing the same thing. If you are really looking to step into your feminine energy and learn how to become your higher self so you can start manifesting your best life, I would love to have you in our Rich and Feminine Energy Masterclass. It's a community of women who are rewriting their story and taking control of their life and no longer being in survival mode. They are no longer accepting what the old version of themselves are, and they are stepping into their higher selves completely. You can also check out my website, even if you just want to look for techniques like EFT, certain meditations to really help you keep you in that energy when you're going through this transformation of the old you and stepping into the highest version of yourself. I'm telling you, mirror work, self-talk, those affirmations, those self-talk rampages, that meditation, all of that is going to play a crucial role in you being able to fully let go of that old version of yourself and step fully into the new you. I really hope you babes enjoyed this video. And if you are in the middle of a heartbreak or any type of hardship in your life, I want you to remember this is not your ending. This is actually the part where you start to meet the real you. This is where the glow up really begins. I really hope this video resonated with you, and if it did, make sure to leave a comment. I love chatting with you girls in the comments. And also make sure to subscribe because I would love to have you girls a part of this community. And even if you know someone who might need to hear this, share this with a sister and let her know that her glow up is coming. I'll see you guys next time. I love you. Bye.